Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. If this is your first time visiting me, I would like to thank you. While you're here, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. By taking this action, you will be helping the channel to grow. Also, take a moment to read my About page so that you can have some understanding about who I am. I will never copy another person's work, nor will I ever copy another person's title. That is because I am authentically me. This work is a part of my bloodline. I thank you for visiting, and I hope that you will return. Please check out my other videos. All are welcome to share his or her story in the comment section below, because your story may be a helpmate to someone else. My channel is a no judgment zone place for healing in some sort of way. If the video does not resonate with you, please do not try to make it fit your circumstances at all. For anyone else and everyone else that the message does make sense to, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. Once again, I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. This channel is all about healing, so let's begin healing together. Hey, Cassie, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm doing this Libra reading because I finished the water signs. I have finished the earth signs. I started on the air signs. Thank you for that, Rose. Hey, y'all, that was my little sister in the background. She just sent me a rose. So if you wanted to know, when I be saying my little sister, that was her that just gave me a rose, right? She only gave me one rose, one. Yeah, one rose, that's it. But now I did Aquarius. I had to step out of the air signs for a second because I did an all signs reading today, and it was, I did every sign. I felt like we had some fun. I could not post that video up here because I said some things. And for y'all who don't understand the world that I come from, y'all may think that my mother was a unaliver, right? But in the spiritual world, you do unto others as others are done unto you. Meaning, if you try to hurt somebody, that shit is going to come back at you. And that's just who we are. We return to sender, plain and simple. That's all we do. We return to sender. And you know what I dislike? When people don't understand the spiritual world, and even if it has nothing to do with the spiritual world, when a person attacks another person, how that person handles it, you get mad. Like, why you had to take it that far? Does it matter? Does it matter? But the hair slayer just reminded me, guys, share the video. Share the video. Don't just watch, shares to help the channel grow. Thank you so much. In real life, in my world, when someone does something to me and the way that I respond, people get mad about it. And I shared a video with my little sister that I made. And I sent a video to my son because I did not want to talk to him. And I said, well, so what you think? She was like, don't let anybody else hear. I said, did I sound bad? And she was like, no, that was the problem. It was so calm. And I said, girl, I've changed. I've changed. I react to people the way they're not going to expect. Everybody always expects for a person, well, somebody like me to be like, but I'm in my zen. And I've been in my zen for some time, for some years, for quite some time. And let me tell you, I can't let anybody take me out of it. So today, when we was doing the all signs and I was sharing with you personal stories of my world, We like that for real. Each and every one of us, we're like that for real. But we're going to get to this Libra reading, and I hope everyone is doing well. You know, I have a big sister, and I haven't worn my necklace in a minute, but I have a big sister, and my daughter bought me this necklace one Christmas. She was a Libra, right? And I wear this every time when I'm thinking about her. And that's often. It's every single day. This is the first time that I've really taken off that necklace in years. And now I'm wearing my husband's name, right? Because he got the juice. So I've been wearing his name, right? All up on that energy. And I have my little sister who's up here who's a Libra. I have a cousin that'll be joining in a little bit, and she's a Libra. But it doesn't mean that this reading is for them. I'm just letting you know I have a world of Libras around me. And the one thing about a Libra person is that they like balance. They would like for things to be even. They don't like for things to be out of alignment. And guess what? With them being out of alignment, it makes them a little wonky. It makes them a little funky. Libras like balance. They like steadiness. They want fairness. They want things to be fair. And unfortunately, life is not always like that. But for a Libra, they're going to fight for fairness. They don't understand why a person would act in this manner, because for them, they would never if they didn't have to. They don't know why this person would say this or that. But even though a Libra likes balance, the one thing about a Libra is that they can protect themselves. So even if a person is coming at you who's a Libra, who wants balance, who wants fairness, who wants justice, it doesn't mean that they're not going to defend themselves in a just way. I'm just saying, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I saw the heart. Thank you. Jenny Rose, right? And but it doesn't mean that they're not going to defend themselves, because they will, and they're going to protect themselves at all costs. They straddle the line sometimes with who's first. Do they put themselves first? Do they put family first? Do they put friends first? Do they put co-workers first? Do they put spouses first? Their significant others? That's where the imbalance come from, because they try to be loyal, but when a person is not loyal to them, it breaks them into pieces. And they don't understand why they're unjust. But as Martin Luther King said, a man can't ride your back unless it's bent. Let me say this. Libra is not Humpty Dumpty, who sat on the wall, who had a great fall. And when Humpty fell into pieces, and all the king's horses and all the king's men, they tried to put Humpty together again. Now, when you break a Libra and they break into pieces, they don't need anyone to pick up the pieces, nor do they need anyone to put them back together again. The problem is when they put themselves back together, and when there's no cracks to be found, and you're searching like, I thought I broke them. I thought they were in two pieces. They're coming back stronger than ever. And you're going to wish they didn't. You're going to wish they didn't. You ever heard that you can't hold a good man down, or you can't hold a good woman down? That's Libra. So be careful with one if you think you're going to play with one. Yes. Yep, you will balance out. Absolutely. So let's get to this reading. Those of you who follow me, you know. Thank you so much. Little sis, you see, she gave me, I just got 10 roses from her. You gave me one. So that means all those videos you've been sending me of food, that you're going to be taking me out to eat soon. So I am appreciative of that. And you already know what it has to be, what I want to eat. But let me tell y'all something too. I've been looking at myself on these videos and the camera makes you look so much bigger. Damn, I look like Humpty Dumpty, like I need to be doing that Humpty dance. But I promise you this is not my size. However, I have gained 30 damn pounds. And it's these damn frappes. And I'm addicted to these sugars. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would be lying to tell you that I'm working on it, but I'm not, because my face card, I love me. I love me. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, it took me a long time to learn how to work the little glitches on TikTok. I am not a computer person, I promise you, nor am I a phone person. I I was probably one of the last people to get a cell phone. Everybody would say, yo, you need a cell phone. You need a cell phone. I was the house phone kind of girl. And with me traveling so much, my mom would be like, you need a cell phone. And then finally, I got a cell phone. And I didn't know how to use it worth anything. And I would call my little sister, be like, yo, what am I supposed to do? How I'm supposed to do this? And she would sit on the phone and try to tutor me, have a little class. I didn't know how to work the emails or anything because I'm so old school. And then my kids would try to sit with me and I didn't understand it. So even with technology growing, the heck with it. I'm one of them for real. And my mother retired early because instead of writing lesson plans down, they wanted to incorporate lesson plans into the computer. And she said, fuck you. And she retired. And even though she retired, she was bored as hell. She had nothing to do but call me every 5 minutes. And now I miss them phone calls. I promise you. I used to be like, dang, Mom, go find something else to do. And I wish I had them calls every single day. But technology, it's not a biggie for me. I'm trying, I'm learning one step at a time, one step at a time. But let's get to the reading. Oh, before I begin this Libra reading, I know y'all see some of my views have gone down. You know, I had to block these hoes. I went on a podcast, right? And it was only because the topic was interesting and I could relate to it. So I was just looking at the podcast and then the person invited me on. I did go on the podcast and I think people get it misconstrued that when you are speaking as a guest on a podcast, that means that now we could be friends. So after the podcast, people invited me to follow them as they followed me. So the day before yesterday, it's this woman. Every picture, and y'all see that I put new pictures up of myself, but every picture that I would put up and I would put little songs to it, this bitch, excuse me, my French, this is French. This bitch, comment allez-vous, right? How are you, everyone? She started posting pictures using the same music and everything. Everything that I did the day before, she kept doing the same thing. So I'm like, what the heck? This is not monkey see, this is not monkey do, right? Because I don't live in that zoo. Then there was another, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I was like, I got to block. And I usually don't block, but I wanted to block because I didn't like them anyway in real life. And the person of the podcast still jumps on and watches, so they know what I'm saying. Just because you go on a podcast with someone, it doesn't mean that you guys need to follow each other, because on your channel, I may not like what you're doing. I might just not like you, period. And you coming over here, you may not like me for real. We just had conversations on a podcast, but it doesn't mean that we are friends. Don't copy me. I'm never going to copy anyone. I got my little sister. There's nothing about her that I want to copy. I have a mother that I adore. There's nothing about her I want to copy. My daughters, there's nothing about them that I want to copy. I don't understand that. I don't understand copying anyone, what the next one is doing. I'm 52. I've always did things my own way and went about things my own way. The way that I speak, the way that I dress, the way that I am. My mother had 3 daughters, and none of us are the same, nor did we want to be like the next. And my oldest sister, I adored her like there was no tomorrow, and I never wanted to be like her. I remember in school, they would say, who is your favorite person in the world? And we had to write, a little essay about them. I had 2 people. I had my mother, I had my oldest sister, and I wrote my essay about my mother. And then I added my sister into it, right? Because my sister was like my second mom. She was my big sister. And in that whole essay, I spoke about all the things that I adored about them, what I admired. And I wrote at the end, I don't want to be like them at all, at all. And when my sister crossed over, she was so good, let me tell you. And I would say to my mom, that's the one you took your vitamins with, because I never understood how a person could be so authentic, so genuine, so peaceful. She didn't curse. She didn't drink. She never did drugs. When she crossed over, she was 43 years old and she was a virgin. She did have a first kiss, and it was only one kiss because when I found out she had the kiss, she came home and I could see it. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, none of your business, but she was all smiley. I said, did you kiss? And she was like, mind your business. I went to his house. I knocked on his door. I was like, you stay away from my sister. You better leave my sister alone or I'm going to get you. And that happened. And then one day she was so sad. And I was like, what's the matter? And she was like, did you say something to him? And I'm like, what? And she was like, did you say something to him? So she started, the guy, he did leave my sister alone, started dating another girl up the block from us. Well, I had to go to her house too. I told him to leave her alone. And her name was Marcelli. And I said, you better leave him alone. You know that was my sister boyfriend. You better leave him alone. And she did. Yeah, I was messy. I was so fucking messy. But that really happened. Yup, she lived up the street from me. And I broke my sister's heart because she did like that guy. But I'm glad they broke up because after kissing, you know what he wanted after that. And he didn't get it because at 43, my sister went to sleep a virgin. She was a good girl, right? We're different. We're different. Yeah, well, for who? Well, for her, right? And she understood me. She would call me her big little sister. She would say I was the big little sister. I was like her bodyguard. I really was. I was very protective over her. I really was. Yeah, I really was. But let's get to this Libra reading. I hope everyone is doing well. I sincerely do. Now, look, that took the wind out of me. If y'all hear me barking, if you hear me coughing, y'all know I'm getting over this bronchitis. I'm almost done with it. I'm getting better. I promise you that, I know some people wish I wouldn't be getting better, but I am, right? I'm like a Libra. You can't keep a good woman down. But let us get to this reading in Libra. You know where I'm going. If you've been here before, we're going to start off with my spiritual news deck. And I really enjoy this deck. But we're starting off with the spiritual news. Everybody, don't forget to share this channel. And I thank you. That's helping the channel to grow. Don't forget to follow me on my YouTube platform. My YouTube platform is growing over there as well. And I got some copycats over there too. I do. Ooh, but you know what? I thought about putting out a list of genuine readers that are online, TikTok and YouTube. Well, that's a whole nother story. We'll dive into that on another day because, people who I have done readings for, all of them, each person that I have done a reading for, they told me until they met me that they had spent so much money getting scammed by other readers on these platforms. And it's a shame. A lot of these people don't think that they're going to have karma to pay for. The one thing, let me say, that's called stealing. That's theft. Anytime that someone pays you to do a reading and you know that you're scamming them, that's called theft. And you do have to pay for theft. It's theft of hurting someone when you know that you're doing them wrong and when you know that you are not authentic to a skill. It's wrong. It's distasteful. However, you do have to pay for that. You really do. But that's neither here nor there. But let us get to this reading. Listen, when I came on these platforms, I told you we're going to shake some things up. You know, people are always going to be who they are. But it doesn't mean that we can't start putting our foot on their backs, right? Because it's wrong. It's so unfair, unkind. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Libra. Show me what I need to see. Tell me what I need to hear. Thank you. Spirit guides, what message do you have for Libra today, male or female? And we're going to take the 1. Breaking news, Libra. Breaking news. Spirit says it's time to stand up and speak up for yourself. Understand that you are not a doormat for people to walk and talk over. Neither do you deserve to be treated as such. Remember that you have the power to say no more. I can't make this up. I'm just giving you a few minutes to read that for yourselves. That means what it says. It means to never let anyone disrespect you. Don't let anyone treat you like a doormat, because you have the power to say no more. You have the right to defend yourself. So Spirit wants you to speak up for yourself. You don't have to put your hands on anyone. You don't have to put the paws on anyone to speak up for yourself. But damn it, you can stand up and say no more. The next time someone is acting funky, you could be like, no more. No means no. But that's not how I really want to say it. We on TikTok, but I've been in TikTok jail so many times. You could be like, get the fuck out of my face. No more if you don't want me to wild out. You got 2 seconds. I'm just saying that was the best way to do it, right? That was the best way that I could do it for you. Listen, at the bottom of the deck and other news, Libra, Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. The door of love and romance is open for you. Let your guard down and welcome it. Spirit says you deserve it. Libra, you could be single and you have your guard up because maybe you're not trusting of people, right? Spirit is saying to let your guard down. The door of love, the door to romance is open. If you're in a relationship, the door of love and the door of romance is most definitely open. Spirit is saying, let your guard down. You know, I should have did Gemini tonight, y'all. Listen, I should have did Gemini because there's some other things that I want to say, but I got to let Spirit guides guide me with this. And I promise you right now, on my left side over here, I'm getting a little dizzy, lightheaded. And that's the truth. I'm feeling lightheaded, and that's because I'm holding back what I want to say. So Spirit is telling me to say what I need. So if you're going through a little spat with your person, Spirit is telling you that the door to love and romance is most definitely open to you. That means that I'm speaking to a Libra, male or female, wherever you're at. You may not need to be there, but you're not going to be short of offers. I'm speaking to a Libra that's beautiful, that's handsome. I'm speaking to a Libra who exactly knows their worth. But here, you've been putting up with a lot. Because Spirit is saying it is time to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, understand that you are not a doormat for people to walk and talk over. Neither do you deserve to be treated as such. So remember that you have the power to say no more. And when you do say no more, Libra, Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. The door of love and romance is open for you. Let your guard down and welcome it. Spirit says you deserve it. That means that whatever you've been through, you don't have to carry that with you into the next relationship if you decide to jump into another relationship. Whew, I feel better. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for whomever needs to hear this. Show me what I need to see. Tell me what I need to hear. Thank you. Oh, let's ring this bell, y'all. I want help. I want to clear this energy out, y'all. I do. Oh, Spirit guys, I felt like my equilibrium was off with that. That's the spirit. Let me tell you. I feel like I got to get back in order. That was heavy. Oh, man. Here we go. This one came out first, so we're going to put this one here. We're going to put that there just like that. And then 2 more cards, Spirit guys. This is a 9-card spread. And you know what, Libras, I owe you another one because this is actually, I should be doing an around the world, the wheel of the year. You know what? I have to turn these cards into a wheel of the year. I was about to do a 9-card spread. And, I wanted to jump all in, right? But we're going to do a wheel of the year like we've done for everyone else. So, excuse me, I have to pick these cards up properly, right? So work with me because we have to start where we're at in December. So the first card that came out is December right now, right? We don't want to get this out of order. So then we have December. This is January, February. This is March. No, it's not. This is March. This is April, May. This is June. All right, now we back in order. This is July. We're going to take these 2 because they're like this. This is August, September. October. This is November. And then here we are back at December. Oh, I had to catch that. I thought I was going to give you another reading tomorrow. But Libra, I don't want to spend that much time with you, right? I'm trying to get through this before the end of the year. But this is the wheel of the year reading. I've done already all the water signs. I did all the earth signs. I have those videos posted on my YouTube platform. If you missed it here, it's over there. However, right here, right now, this is the unity card for someone, unity. So I could be speaking to a Libra who's in a relationship. I could be speaking to a Libra that's married. However, a time of divine understanding, renewal. So there's peace here and hope. You radiate and attract great love. Let me tell you something. That goes hand in hand with this card at the bottom of the deck. Remember, Spirit says, Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. The door of love and romance is open for you. Let your guard down and welcome it. Spirit says you deserve it. Now, I have to really dive deep. Let me explain something to you. This is the number 34. We flip it and reverse it. It is the number 43. Most of you who follow me, you know that the number 43 is one of my favorite numbers, right? But let me just say this to you, and I have to be fair. This right here, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. You do. People like you. Libra, people like you. People adore you. So if you've been going through a tough time, if you're in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend, if you are married, whatever the case may be, if you have a significant other, Spirit is saying this is a time of understanding for you to understand your person versus your person understanding you, your needs, your desires. This is a time of peace. So if you've been going through a difficult time, that you can resolve it, the two of you, if you want to. Whatever you hope for, you can have. So if you desire to have peace, if you desire for this relationship to be rekindled, it can happen. However, you do radiate and attract great love. There is a Libra here. Honestly, you do attract great love. People like you, and you know that. There's a Libra here who guard is up. Even if you are in a relationship, your guard is up. You're not all in and haven't been all in. See, let me explain this. This is the number 34. So the angel number 34 is a very powerful message from your angels, encouraging you to maintain your creativity, your determination, and hard work, as it will soon lead to stability and success. See, what you put in is what you're going to get out. You haven't put in much, so you're not going to get much out of the situation. The number 3 resonates with self-expression, creativity, optimism, joy, and growth. It also relates to the ascended master, so indicating that they are supporting your creative endeavors and helping you to manifest your desires. The number 4 relates to hard work, stability, and practicality, right? So this is guidance. You are very creative, but where you're at currently, is that where you want to be? And if you want to be there, what are you going to do to put that work into it? See, now we have to play this game of called creativity. There is a Libra that's not balanced. Their situation is not balanced. So it teeter-totters. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. So you are out of alignment. But did your person put you out of alignment? Or have you been out of alignment with your person because you haven't allowed yourself to go all in with this person? Spirit says, Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. Sometimes people could be in a relationship. A person could be married. But the door is not open to your person. The door is not open to give them the love that they desire, nor is the door open for you to receive the love that you desire. So I'm speaking to a Libra who has closed the door on love and romance, although you are there, because you are afraid to accept it. Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. If you are in a relationship, the love is there if you want it. The door of love and romance is open for you. Now, you hear me every now and again. I'll speak about doors being open, doors being closed. The door has been open, but then you close the door. You close the door because you don't trust. You don't trust the situation. You may not trust your person. So if you don't trust, how do you stay in something that you don't trust? How can you feel secure in something that you don't trust? How can you want anything from a relationship that you don't trust. So, Spirit is telling you to let your guard down and welcome it. Welcome it. Spirit says you deserve it. Spirit says you deserved love. You deserve romance if that's what you want. Your guardian angels are just here to remind you that they are protecting you and assisting you in all of your endeavors. Excuse me, I have to cough. So if you want it, they support you. If you don't want it, they still support you. They're going to move this person right out of your life. When this comes to a situation such as personal growth, there's a Libra who is expanding their self. They are expanding their knowledge through their experiences, childhood, other relationships. The relationship that you're in, you're basing that relationship off childhood trauma and toxic relationships that you've been in. But Spirit wants you to trust your inner voice, excuse me, and to keep moving forward as you are aligning with your spiritual purpose. Now, when it comes to love, as we see at the bottom of the deck in relationship, follow your soul. Trust your intuition when it comes to matters of the heart. The number 3, the energy of that number combined with the stability of the number 4 can signal a period of both being joyful, that joyful expression, and it can also be for you to build a secure foundation in your partnership. Some relationships never start with a solid foundation. Some people think that they can jump in, and then if things go haywire, you look past it because here we are together. That's not setting a foundation. There's something that you allow to overlap, or your person allowed to overlap. You look past it instead of mending it. And so it's there. It's teeter-tottering right here, right now. So when it comes to spiritual development of the number 34, the number 34 encourages you, Libra, to trust yourself and trusting in the guidance and wisdom of your angels. 34 highlights the importance of balance. Your spiritual growth with the practical steps that you take in your everyday life. Trust your path, have faith in your hard work, and believe that the universe is conspiring to help you to succeed. Use your skills wisely because there's a Libra here who's teeter-tottering. You're sitting on the fence. You're sitting on the fence because there's a part of you like, I'm staying, no matter how difficult it may be, no matter if I'm not even all in, I'm staying anyway. And then there's this other part of you like, I'm better than this situation. I deserve more, but you're not in alignment with yourself. So to solve this problem, express yourself as this is a major part of your life. These numbers are very significant numbers. So follow your intuition, listen to your soul. That is your inner wisdom to solve these problems. Take a practical step, balance your spiritual and creative ambitions with a grounded, hardworking approach to building a secure future. So you can rebuild all over again. You can lay down a solid foundation. As the card says, a time of divine understanding, renewal. You can rekindle, renew with this person if you desire to, but peace, that's all you want. You want peace. Who doesn't want peace? If you don't want peace, you're in the wrong place, because that's what this channel is all about. Sometimes, right? Sometimes. However, the number 34, flip it and reverse it, it's one of my favorite numbers, 43. So let's go around the wheel. In January, this is where we're here, right now. If you are single, let me tell you, if you're a single Libra, childhood trauma, past relationships, when you meet someone new, don't carry that shit with you into your new relationship. Don't be the bag lady, as Erica Badu said. You can't keep carrying that shit with you. If you want to build a relationship with someone new, you have to leave that at the door. You can't bring that into your new house. And that house is called a relationship. You can't bring that into a new relationship, because there are some people who would like to ease the trauma, but then there are others that have their own trauma, and two broken people, that shit doesn't work. It causes friction. Somebody has to be Bob, the builder. We have December, right? So then we have, I just need to make sure between the two, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So here we are. Oh my goodness. This is the number 22. This is another one of my favorite numbers, right? Listen, Libra, I'm not a part of this reading, but my favorite numbers are here. This is the number 22. Let me tell you, this is my second top number. Let me tell you my second. My first number is number 9. But this is the number 22. We have mountain. So in December, this is what you're currently dealing with. In January, know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Spirit is saying that in January, you're still going to have some challenges that you have to work out, to be or not to be. That's your direction, to stay or to go, to allow love in or to not with this person. But the number 22 symbolizes duality, adaptability, insight, selflessness, relationships, sensitivity, just as well as diplomacy. So when receiving this number from your angels, it is a message, Libra. It is a message that you need to trust yourself. Not me, not anyone else. Trust yourself and your instincts. So the number 22 is perceived as the most powerful and creative number of all the numbers. Let me just tell you that. It is. Let me just say that, listen, my birthday is number 22. You know? I just had to put it out there like that. This means that you are able to overcome all kinds of obstacles and aren't easily knocked back by failure. However, you also love to be seen as successful, Libra. So there are a few of you that are here right now. So many of you may become frustrated if you struggle to achieve your aims. However, let's discuss what the number 22 means in love. You are someone who stands by your partner's side when required to do so, be it emotional support or giving proper advice when needed. However, you are someone who does not have unrealistic or imaginary thoughts about love, because of the trauma, because of the hurt, even the childhood wounds. Let me tell you, let me say that again. You are someone who does not have unrealistic or imaginary thoughts about love. However, but you do care about your partner and the people around you, your family, your friends, whatever the case may be. You are someone, when it comes to love, you are not in alignment with yourself, because you haven't experienced true love. You haven't experienced great love. Being that you've been hurt, you've been disappointed, you don't know what it feels like. And Spirit is saying that you do deserve that feeling of not having to question. You deserve not only not to question your partner, but to know what it feels like to be truly loved. But you have to love yourself enough to stand up for yourself. And when you stand up for yourself, that's already mastering the art of loving yourself. When you don't allow someone to beat you down verbally, physically, mentally, or emotionally, you have to take a stand and say, no more. So December, we're going through it. January, you're teeter-tottering with the mind. February, oh shit now. And February, this is the number 16. You coming with that fire energy, that Leo energy. And Spirit is telling you to harness the loyal, and protect the aura of the lion, harness it, and charge ahead in a magnificent way. So whatever you decide, they want you to be encouraged. They want you to be courageous, because there's no win, there's no lose. It's about you being in alignment with yourself. So we have December, we have January, February, now we have March. And March, they're telling you, you be like Scorpio. We have the number 25. That is the phoenix. Scorpio is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. They want you to harness that energy. So be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. The crisis that you're going through is because you haven't put your foot down in a way that lets a person know that no means no, yes means yes. Spirit wants you to stand up and speak up for yourself. So we have the mountain. This is January, the mountain. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. Remain cautious, because there could be somebody that's being tricky behind your back. Spirit wants you to keep your eyes open all the way around. So December, January, February, they want you to harness that energy of Leo and be courageous. Go forth and be courageous. The number 25 is that Scorpio energy, that water energy. This is my cousin right here, right? But be prepared to be renewed after a period of crises. So right now you're in a period of crises, and it's going to last until January, February. You're going to be that lion. March, you're like, fuck this. I'm renewed. I am the phoenix that rises from the ashes. They thought that they could hold me down. No, I may have fell off the wall, but Humpty Dumpty comes up out of this with no scratches, no cracks, no bumps, no bruises. I am that. I am the phoenix that rises from the ashes. So December, January, February, March, April. April, this is judgment. This is your own card. This is the Libra card. This is the number 14. I better put on my glasses. I'm over here struggling, and I'm not lying. It's the truth. But we have the number 14. This is your own card. So you're soul searching. This month, you're soul searching, but soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. You're soul searching on what has transpired in your life, what you want to let go of, and what you want to hold on to. You're reflecting on life, period. So December, January, February, March, April. April, you're soul searching. And May, this is the moon. This is the number 21. That's that full moon. Can you see it? Let me just say this to you. So pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead in a confident way, because you're going to be successful. There's no win, there's no lose. There's no stay, there's no go. It's all up to you. Spirit just wants you to be courageous and trust yourself. December, January, February, March, April, May. Now in June, you're going to be feeling so good. This is the Sun card. The Sun card is the happiest card in the deck. Let me just tell you, this is the number 30. Flip it and reverse it. It's the number 3. But in June, open your heart to the enormous growth ahead, because there's only up from here. There's no down. It's only up from here. There's no other way to go but up, up, up. You know, material abundance, happiness. This is going to be a joyous outcome for you. This is nothing but success. That's what the Sun card represents. So in July, celebrations. This is the number 5. In July, you're going to be celebrating. That is my birthday season. So we could be back here celebrating with me. However, you're going to be celebrating, Libra. In July, this is the number 5 card. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. So in July, in June, you happy. You're so happy. July, celebrating, still happy. Nothing is going to bring you down. You're moving forward all the way around. No ifs, no ands, no buts or suppose. The number 5, let me just tap into that quickly. The number 5, according to numerology, symbolizes freedom. You feel free about something. It's curiosity and change. So you're curious about your future, about the world around you, and you desire to have change. July, you're celebrating. You have a desire to have adventures and to explore the world around you. You have a willingness to embrace change and transformation, as we see over here with the number 25. That's the phoenix, that transformation. Things are going to be shifting in a whole new way for you. August, this is the number 23. This is that owl spirit. That owl spirit means a lot. That's that wise owl, let me tell you. So there are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. You're still transitioning. And you're starting to embrace the world around you. And you're going to be looking at life in a whole new way. Around here, there was a little stagnancy. Not feeling optimistic. But Spirit is saying they got your back. As you can see, as we work our way around the wheel, they do have your back. You're going to be celebrating. You have the happiest card in the deck. You're moving around, enjoying life. The number 23, the owl spirit. You know, this is a spiritual message. This is you gaining great wisdom. And you're going through a period of transition. As you see that they sit opposite of one another. The Phoenix is transition as well. So July, August, here we are in September. The number 4, make a wish in September. Don't forget, keep it in your pocket. The number 4, anytime that I see the number 4, anytime that you see the number 4, I don't care where you're at. If you see it on your receipt, if you see it on a license plate, if you see the number 4 on the clock, even if you write it down, the number 4 is to make a wish. Anytime that you see the number 4. But the universal energy brings you opportunities and possibilities. Libra, you can have whatever you like, as T.I. said. You can do whatever you like. Nothing or no one can hold you back or hold you down. You know how great you are. You know how powerful you are. But birth is not giving birth to a child. As for someone, it could be. But birth is you being creative. Is you creating the life that you truly desire. And then when you create the life that you truly desire, Spirit wants you to allow love into your life. The door of love and romance is open for you. Let your guard down and welcome it. Spirit says because you deserve it. But the number 4 is related to self-expression. Loyalty, mental stability, trust, patience, just as well as organization and determination. So the number 4 is also a number that possesses energies of the archangels. Overall, let me just say this. The number 4 is a number of focus, focusing on you. Not everyone else, but this is focusing on you. This is you setting your foundation on the way you want to build it. This is you putting in the groundwork. This is you being the shot caller. You understand what I'm saying? This is a completion of a cycle and you being honest with yourself during this time. So let me just say this. Look out for it and you will see the number 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Those numbers and those sequences hold great power. Let me just tell you that whatever you wish for will be granted as long as the wish isn't made to harm anyone. Make the wish with gratitude. Even before you make a wish, always say thank you in advance. Feeling and showing an appreciation of kindness, being thankful that the universe has blessed you with this. Do you know many people, anytime they hear numbers, they jump on the bandwagon of, listen, we got to stop following people, but you got to follow what you see and what you feel. 11-11, that's all I hear. 11-11, 11-11, 11-11. People on TV, 11-11. I'm like, shit, shut the fuck up. And then here's number 4. I see people creating new accounts. Now they're like 4-4-4, 4-4-4, right? No, number 22, let me tell you. Number 22 is the greatest number of all numbers. the most powerful number in the universe. The number 4 simply brings you wishes. It gives you your heart's desires, the meditations of the heart. But the number 22, anytime you seek it, anytime that you see it, remember at the time when you see the number 22, remember what you're thinking at that time, because guess what? It holds that much power. You have the ability to shift when you see this number 22. If something is going backwards, you have the power to bring it forward. So understand this number 22, but the number 40, the number 4 brings you wishes. Anytime that you see the number 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, those numbers and those sequences, that's how many wishes you can make. I don't make a wish every time I see the number 4. I put them in my pocket. This is my imaginary pocket. I have a dress on. But anytime I see the number 4, I put them in my pocket and I hold them for a time that I really need them. However, here we are, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Now we're moving into October. October, this is the number 9, right? Engine, number 9 on that New York Transit line. Y'all remember that song? But this is that eagle spirit, right? You got that owl spirit, don't forget. And now you have the eagle spirit. You will soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Let me tell you that there's no win or lose. What you decide is what it will be. There's no fail. There's no win. What you decide, Libra, is what it's going to be. Whatever it is that you like. T.I. said you can have whatever you like, and that's the truth. I told you the number 9, that's my favorite number. Listen, I'm not a Bible thumper, and all of you know that. However, I have read the Bible many times, let me tell you. And according to the Bible, there are 9 fruits of the Spirit, which is specific attributes, right? On my side it's frozen, but on your side it's not. So excuse me. Listen, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. On my side it's frozen, but on your side it's not. I can't move it. I would ask my husband, but I'm going to try. Did it. Okay. Listen, I'm not a Bible thumper. And according to the Bible, there are 9 fruits of the Spirit, right? Which we all know these, right? It doesn't matter if you're a Bible thumper or not. We all know this, or you should know it, right? Because I had the kind of grandma that kept you in church all Sunday long. I swear, it was so tedious. I couldn't stand it. But that's a whole story for a whole nother day, which are specific attributes. So love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Listen, we always have to be in control. Now, this is said to be the result of the influence of the Holy Spirit. Also in Christianity, it is said that Jesus died at the 9th hour. You can find that in Matthew 27:46. In Hinduism, the number 9 is the number of Brahma, the creator of Ramadan, a time of fasting. And you don't have to be Muslim to fast, you know. Fasting, it cleanses the mind, it cleanses the body, but it's also a time of self-reflection for Muslims. The number 9 is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. Let me just tell you that the number 9 shows up in our lives in a variety of ways. Pregnancy, it takes a woman 9 months to carry a baby. There are 9 innings in a baseball game. So it is a very beautiful thing to see the number 9. Meaning so many different things to so many people in this world. Let me just tell you. Let's get to this. We have December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Now here we are, November. And I know you like, why does she keep counting it up? That's because people come in, they go out, and they miss the placement. And I want to be fair. Now, Libra, you have 2 wishes on the board. You have the number 4, which is your make-a-wish. Now we have the number 35. This is your wish. You get another wish. You see that heart? You have 2 wishes. So your heart's desire is ready to come true. So in November, whatever your heart desire is what it's going to be, plain and simple. Whatever you desire to have, whatever you want to do, that's what it's going to be. So focus, pay attention on what it is that you desire. This number 35, this is a time when you're going to be entering into a period of significant and positive changes. And your angels are guiding you and protecting you through this transition. Now, just be diligent at understanding that you have this number 4. When you make that wish right here, be sure that wish is what you want because it's going to come in for you. However, here we are in December. This is my favorite card. Let me tell you, if I was using the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this is my favorite card in any deck. This is the Fool. This is the number 12. This is the Fool card. The Fool simply means new beginnings. The Fool represents adventures, a new path in life. This is a person taking chances, taking risks, being all in, not being afraid, right? To be who they want to be. But the Fool is someone that has fresh hope, new hope. And they just know that there's no such thing as failure. So have the courage to embrace change, take risk, and be adventurous. Listen, do that. Do that. It's so important to, well, for me, it's important for me to be that way. Now, I don't do reversals in a reading at all. I don't like to do reversals. However, we do have this card and it's in reverse. If I was doing a one-to-one reading, a personal reading with someone, I would take this in reverse, but I'm not. So we have the number 18, which is the Lovers. The Lovers card, there are 2 paths ahead, so be true to yourself. If the card was upside down, it would have been, you're going to be with this person no matter what. But the spirit guides are telling you that there are 2 paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Which way do you want to go? Anytime that I do a reading, I never make a decision for anyone. I never give anyone advice because, listen, it's your life. What I say may not be for you, may not be the best thing for you, but you have to come to the conclusion of that for yourself. I never, ever, ever give anyone advice. But what I do, when I do a reading with someone, I dog walk you through it. I dog walk you. You know how truck drivers, you ever seen a truck going down the road and the back of it may be a little slanted, just a little bit? We call that dog walking, that it's not in alignment. I never, ever give anybody advice. But I do help you dog walk it through to straighten your shit back up. And that's the truth. Excuse me. Oh, y'all saw me coughing. I should have bent over here a little bit. But we're going to close out this reading. Just give me 1 second. We're going to close out this reading. If this reading is for you, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. If this reading is not for you, it's not for you at this time, but come on back, come back. And maybe in a few months, it may be for you. I don't know. I'm just saying. However, we're going to pull this deck and we just going to be a little bit nosy. We're going to pull this. We're not going to be here much longer. That one, I have to leave it out. It came out by itself. So it's important. Oh, man. We have 2. Listen, we're going to leave them. And this is how we're closing off your reading. we had this one card, time to receive. There's a Libra. The card is telling you that it is time for you to receive. You know, maybe you are a giver. Maybe you give to everyone. Accept all the nourishments you need. It's time for you to give back to yourself. It's time for you to give back to yourself. So accept what is supposed to be yours. And what is supposed to be yours, you'll know. You know what you deserve versus what you don't. Now, we have move forward. Ain't she cute? She a little thick. I like what's on her plate too, except for that bread. I don't want toast. I want somebody to make me some homemade bread. But let me just say this. Move forward, Libra. Keep heading toward your destiny. There's no win, there's no lose. There's no fail. You have a whole bunch of resources. You have angels that are protecting you. We have wander, and open your eyes to new blessings, new beginnings. And we have higher vision. And the cards that I had out before I picked them up, they want you to tap into yourself. Higher vision. See the world with new eyes. See yourself with new eyes. No more letting a person think they can say or do whatever they want. Spirit wants you to speak up for yourself. You know, I'm going to be totally honest here. I understand this reading wholeheartedly. You know, I was married twice. My first and my second. My first relationship, I was not in love. I didn't know what love truly was. And my ex wanted to get married, I promise you. And I was so honest with my ex. I told him that I don't love you. I didn't even feel like that I could love anyone. Not like that at all. As far as a relationship, I was one of them people that had high self-esteem. And I was one of the girls that never wanted to get married. There are some girls who spend their life. You remember when you was in school, they had that game called MASH, the mansion, the house, the apartment, the shack. I never wanted to play. I would watch girls pick out their person. I'm going to get with him. I was that one. I was different. I remember growing up, I'm 52 years old. So when I was growing up, it was girls that wanted to be with the dealer, right? Because he had a car, he had a gold chain, he had the flyest outfit. I was different. I wanted to be the dealer. I wanted my own car. I wanted my own gold chain. I wanted my own money. I never wanted a dude for nothing except for whatever. But I wanted to have everything on my own. That's all I knew. I never was the average girl who looked at a dude to be like, take care of me. I'm going to be with him because he got this. So I wasn't the little girl that looked at a guy for the house, the car, the white picket fence. I was already a mother as a teenager, and I saw my life with my children and me building for them and me, for us. When my ex wanted to get married, he was not the first person to ask me to marry him. I turned down everybody. I always said no. Anybody that asked me to marry him, he was person number 3, and I said no to everybody. And one day he came to my house, Christmas, and he asked me in front of my mom, and she was so excited. And she was like, oh, Sweat, she getting out my house. She getting married. She get on the phone with my grandmother. And I ain't even say yes. So I told my ex straight up, I don't love you. You still want to marry me and I don't love you? And he was like, yeah, maybe you'll grow into it. And I'm like, never. I don't love you like that. I don't love you at all. And he was like, he didn't care. So I go to my aunts, this my father's sisters, and their perception of relationship is how I grew up. And they were the type of women who got with men for $1. And they said, you'll learn to love them later. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I did that. And I never grew into love. The whole time that I was married, I was always trying to find a way out. The whole time that I was married, I was always looking for a way out. Even on my wedding day, I didn't even buy a wedding dress until the morning that I got married. And the morning that I got married, I bought a wedding dress, got married, and I didn't go to my own reception. I went home and took a nap. And my mother, my sisters, everybody calling me, where are you? My aunts, we're at the reception. I said, Stady, I'm home. I didn't even go to my own reception. That's how into the marriage I was. I wasn't. Then finally, I stood up and I had to go. And I just got up and I go. I left with no plan, no vision, no nothing. I just got up and I left. And there was so much help around me and I wanted none. I could have made any call to anyone and started over anywhere I wanted to, and I didn't want to. I just wanted out. I wanted out. Then when my husband that I'm with right now, when he and I started talking, and this is how I understand this reading, Libra, he said, I want to be with you. I said, okay. I said, you want to be with me? But how about if I don't give you all of me? He said, I don't want you. I was like, oh, he crushed my ego. And I said, nah, you don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I want to be with you too, but I'm not going to give you all of me. See, that honest, right? I'm be honest. I'm like, I don't want to give you all of me because I need to save some for myself. And he was like, I don't want you then. And you talking about a female whose ego was bruised. And so it just took me 2.5 seconds. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'm going to give you all of me. He said, I still don't want you if you got to try. Either you're all in or you're not. And I was like, I'm all in. And it was the hardest step that I had to take, to give myself fully to someone, all of me, and not holding anything for me. And I was like, bitch, you stupid. Can't believe you doing this. But I did it. I did it. Now, he was no stranger. He was my first kiss. He was my first feel up. He was. And we went our separate ways. We was living the same life, doing the same thing on a different part of the world. We lived on the same block. We ain't even speak to each other. I tortured this man like there was no tomorrow. I gave him the finger every single day that I saw him. I could look out my window and I can see when he would come out the house. I would run down my steps, right? My mother be like, don't be running through my house. And I'm like, Mom, I'm just going to sit on the porch. I would wait for him to get in his car so he could ride by just so I could go like that. Then I run back in the house. I'll pull my lipstick real quick, get all cute, right? As if he was standing there talking to his dad. I had enough time before he pulled off. I would get all cute so he could see me and be like this. So he was no stranger to me. But this was the first time that I was going to allow somebody in. And I did. I allowed him in because he wasn't going to have it any other way. And I wanted to be honest with him. He was like, I don't know what you used to dealing with, but I ain't that. And I was like, I see. He was like, I'm not that. And I was like, damn, kind of sexy though, right? Kind of sexy. He was standing up for himself. And he didn't play with me. There's a Libra here. I feel you in the same situation. I feel like you're in the same situation that you haven't opened yourself up fully to any relationship you've been in. And I get it. You don't want to be hurt. A lot of people think that they don't carry childhood trauma. And a lot of people do, and they don't even realize it. Maybe daddy wasn't there. And maybe you think that it don't affect you like that, but sometimes it does. So how do you really know what love is supposed to feel like if you never saw it properly and if you never received it properly? So there's always this mechanism of protection that you don't want to get hurt. So sometimes you end up in situations where you feel like you can control, but you're really not controlling it if it's hurting. Relationships are not supposed to hurt. Oh, yeah, I have some butterflies for him. Let me tell you. You know what? When I go to bed with him, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because he's sexy, right? And when I wake up with him, I'll be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Let me tell you, it don't hurt. Let me tell you, I am Scorpio, so you already know. My everything be rocking. I'm good over here. Let me tell you. But he's my first kiss. He my first kiss. Never in this lifetime did I ever think that we would be together. Like I remember my little sister, she flew up to come and see me. And my sister and I, we have the same father. So if you don't understand what I'm saying when I have this conversation. So when my sister came to visit me and I brought her to my mom and I showed her his house where he used to live, I was like, see this house right here? I was like, well, it was this guy. So every time she'd come up, I would drive her by the house, right? And then when I told her, I was like, yo, she was like, you with the guy across the street? I was like, yeah. I'm with the guy across the street. And it's crazy. My ex, he asked me one time, he said, is there anybody in this world that I ever have to be worried about? I said, yeah, you do. And he said, who? I said, the guy across the street. I said, but it's nothing for you to be worried about because he's married. And he was like, oh. So then when we were going through, when we completed our divorce, my husband was with me. And I said, remember the guy from across the street? He was like, yeah. I said, this him. And my husband said, and they shook each other's hands. That's that guy right there. Now worry. You see how tall and sexy he is? That's what I was doing. But nah, that's the guy across the street. And my whole family, when they met him, they was like, you the guy across the street? So even my kids, that's crazy, right? Even my kids, I told them about the guy across the street. So I'm married to the guy across the street. Yeah, bold. Listen, this me in real life. This is me. This is me every day. This is me. You know, I'm the one who that people want to do it, but I do it. If you get what I'm saying, like I'm just me. In my obituary, they gonna read, she that fool card, because that's just me. I'm free spirited like that, you know. I'm free spirited like that. That's who I am. Every day, all day. But Libra, you know what time it is. You know what you have to do for you. You have a beautiful 2026, December, January. You got some changes going on. And then it's smooth sailing all the way around the wheel. Yeah, I do. Always have. And I got a lot of spankings for that too, Cassie. I got a lot of spankings for that. talking too much. I did. I got a lot of spankings for that. Yes, a whole bunch. Until you ever got a spank. Well, my last spanking, I grabbed the belt. My mom, I knew she was about to spank me, and I put these books in my butt, and I put books going down my leg. Guess what I forgot to do? So when she called me to the living room, she was sitting on the couch, and my middle sister was sitting by her, and she was like, Tyra, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so she went to spank me, and it didn't hurt, so I forgot to cry. And she was like, what you got in there? And she started feeling me. This lady said, take them books out. And so now I'm shocked. I got caught. So I was like, I ain't taking these books out. I was not taking the books out. I had on 2 pair of jeans and sweatpants and books. That day was going to be the last day that I got my behind spanked. So when my mother took the books out of my butt and my legs, she made me take off 1 pair of jeans and the sweatpants. And when she went to go hit me with the belt, I grabbed it. I was like, Ma, no more. I said, I'm too big for this. I said, no more. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And that was the last time I got a spanking. She got on the phone. She called my grandmother. She called everybody. She said, this girl done went crazy. Damn right. I got tired of getting a spanking. Because a lot of the spankings I really didn't even deserve. My middle sister would do shit. And you know how when you don't tell, everybody get a beating? So we weren't snitches. So everybody got a beating. But that day, man, I was tired. I was like, I ain't getting no more beatings. And when I grabbed the belt, I did it with my chest. I grabbed the belt and I pulled it like this. I pulled her towards me. I was like, Ma, no more. Like, no more. And that was it. She just went telling everybody, this girl done went crazy. This fool done went crazy. So I honor that. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were like that. They were like that. My grandma was the worst. Well, shit, I don't know. Between my mother and my grandmother, I can't say. I can't say. My mom was more like that because of her mom. You know, it be generational. So it got to stop somewhere, and that shit, it had to stop with me. You know, I just let her know no more. Like, we not doing this. Like, I'm not getting a spanking. Put me on punishment. Now, when my mom did stop spanking me, she would yell. She can go on for hours. And you know what I would say? Ma, can you spank me? I would rather you spank me than yell at me because you won't shut the fuck up. I would say that. I picked my own switch plenty of times, and I would try to get the weakest one, you know, the little skinny one. And then guess what? You know, they go right back outside and they go get the switch. And the worst thing is if they peeled it. You know, when they peel it to the green and when that switch is wet a little bit, ooh, grandma hands. Grandma, I listen, grandmas back then knew karate. They knew how to, you know, that grandmas were different. You right. But I would hate when my grandma would peel the switch. I didn't understand that. I'm like, I should call the cops on her. I should have called the cops on her. Nowadays, these kids be calling the cops. Word is mine, I should have had my grandma arrested. If I was bold enough, I should have called the cops on that lady. But my grandma, she was like that. My grandfather never spanked us ever. He would watch and he would say, why are you doing that youngin' like that? And I'm like, that's all you want to say? I'm looking at him like, bitch, like, stand your ass up. But he never went against my grandmother. I know they hear me. He should have. I'm just saying. He should have. But my grandfather, he ain't say nothing. You know, them women could do whatever they want to do. You hear me, babe? Those women back then could do whatever they want to do. Heh, heh. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, I don't know what happened. Yo, right. That's the worst. When you would get a spanking and they make you take a bath. Like, yo, I'm burning up. I can't even sit down. You right. And they make you get in the tub after that. That was abuse. These kids don't know child abuse. That was abuse. Yes. Those baths. And then those whelps they would be like this thick. They would be this thick. I remember one time I told the school, I was like, look, I got a beating. Do you know the school told my mother? And I got another beating. I was like, damn, they ain't no help. My mother was like, are you crazy? I did that. I did. I should have told on my grandmother though, because she was the worst. Yes, and they would scab up, especially when they peeled it. What was the purpose of them peeling it? I don't get it. I never understood why they would peel it. I never understood it. You know, I'm gonna keep this to myself because then y'all gonna be like, damn, she the worst. But when my grandmother was laying on her deathbed, I was so good to her. And I was like, dang, I wanted her to go out in a peaceful way. But when I got home, I was like, I should have said this and that, but I wanted her to go out peacefully. I really did. Like, I wanted to be the better version of her while she laid there. And you got to think when somebody goes out like that, where they laying like that and they can't move, they can't talk, but they can hear you. You know what? I spoke to her with nothing but love. I did. I spoke to her with nothing but love. I sure did. I wanted her to remember that the last grandchild that got to have a conversation with you, it was with pure love because I wanted her to take that with her. Like you treated the one that was the one that would do anything for anyone the worst way. So I wanted her to get a taste of what real love was. And I did. I told her I loved her this, and that. I wanted that to be my last message to her. And I did that. I did that. And before she got into that state, my grandfather passed away before she did. And I knew she was hurting. And I would call her every day. How you doing? How are you feeling? Because he was gone now, you know? And I did that. And then I don't know, my feelings teeter-tottered with her though. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. My feelings teeter-tottered with her. But I just didn't want to be the worst part of her, meaning I didn't want to be like her. I didn't want to be like her. Yeah. But I did say some extra stuff. I did say some extra stuff, but in a pleasant way. I did. In a pleasant way. Because my mom was standing there. And my mother, she thought her mother was the golden woman of all. Like we all do. Like me, I feel like my mother is the best woman in the world. You know what I mean? There was nothing I would do for her. And when I was growing up, I never had a broken leg. I never had a broken arm. I always had everything that I desired. And with my mom, that's how we treated her. When my mom crossed over, I didn't let anybody touch her. My daughters and I in the hospital bed as they unhooked her. We washed her up. My son, my two girls and I didn't want nobody to touch her. We lift her up. We put her in the body bag, in the hospital's body bag. and we zipped her up until the funeral home got there. I did not let my mother go to the basement of any hospital. And yeah, I gave her life. And when the funeral home got there, I told them don't touch her. And they had a body bag, and we lift her up again, and we put her in that body bag. And until we was ready to leave the room, I did not zip her face up. And then when it was time to leave the room, I zipped her face up. And then I went down the elevator with her where the bodies go down to go outside. And the hospital already knew what time it was. I told the funeral home to park right in front of the hospital. And the same way my mom went in the hospital, that's the way I wanted her to come out. And they allowed me, they moved everybody out the way, and they allowed my mom to come out the front door. And I put her and my son, we put her in the ambulance. And, you know, the hearse, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a hearse, it was like this van. And then I took her home in front of the house. And I gave the little boy some change, and we sat there for a little while because I wanted her to come home before she went to the funeral parlor. And all the neighbors, they turned on the porch lights for her, and because they knew we were out there. And a couple of neighbors came and stood on their front porches, and he was like, how much more time you need? Take all the time you need, because my mom's name rang bell, so I got to do these things. And then when we got to the funeral home, my son and I, we pushed her inside the funeral home, and I unzipped her, and we took her out the body bag. So I was able to do those things with her. So I love my mom. Like, there was no tomorrow. I love my mom. Let me tell you. The same way she carried me in her womb, and she carried me until I could walk for myself. Well, the day she couldn't walk for herself, I wanted to carry her. And that's what I was able to do for her. So I went all the way. It don't mean I wasn't a basket case afterwards. Yeah. And I kept her out a while. You know, when she passed away, I kept her out a while. And I would sleep in front of the funeral home every night for a week. I wasn't ready to bury her. I slept, and they would come knock on the window, and they'd be like, go home. And I'm like, nah. And they'd be like, you want to sleep inside? I'm like, how many bodies you got in there? And I'm like, don't put my mother next to no dude. Don't put her next to no dude. I want her in the room by herself. They was like, we got you. And they did. They kept my mom upstairs until it was time to embalm her. Then they had to bring her down for that. But, yeah. Yeah. I did all of that. But I'm getting better. I'm a lot better sometimes. Sometimes. But it's beautiful to be able to communicate with the Aquarius reading that we did today, that somebody that's coming into their gifts is bittersweet, because although you can hear spirit, you can feel them, it's not the same as the physical touch, the physical picking up the phone conversations. And today I was going to post a clip on my TikTok of a conversation of my mother's and I that we had. Then I said, nah, I ain't going to do that, because we was gossiping. We were gossiping. So I was like, I ain't going to do that. We were gossiping about some people in my hometown. So I was like, nah, I ain't going to do that. But I thought about it today. I was in that kind of mood. Yeah. But I'm going to get off this live, relax. I just finished watching that Dave Chappelle comedy show. It was bananas before I came to this reading. Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle. Let me tell you, his work, because he's super duper intelligent. just like how raw and real he is. So if y'all haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It was super dope. I liked it. My husband and I, we laughed like crazy, but man, he told some truths, all truths, and he didn't tell one lie. Yo, you saw that too? He was lit. Yes, I loved it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, listen, Cassie, let me tell you, you already know. You already know. So trust me. Listen, he is not going to get canceled again. I loved it. Look, people always trying to cancel somebody. What he said, I got money though. Enough said. Enough said. Listen, enough said. Did you hear him talking about how he bought up that whole town? I'm just saying. Listen to him. You know how he bought up the whole town? Yeah. One day I'm going to buy my whole town where I grew up, and I'm going to leave everybody stinking. I'm just going to leave the town desolate and empty. I'm just saying. Yeah, but I'm out. I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do Gemini. And after we get Gemini out of here, then we'll be on to the fire signs, and then we're done. Then we did the wheel of the year for everybody. Let me tell you, then we did the wheel of the year for everybody. But I had fun with you guys. Thank you for coming back, Cassie. Thank you to Array for showing up. Everybody that gave me a gift, thank you. I'm trying to look back and see. Thank you so much, Jenny, too. Thank you, Jenny. Let's see. I'm trying to catch you all. I'm trying. I'll be spinning, switching back up. But I thank each and every one of you guys for your time. You know, I always say that because time is something that we never get back. No matter how much we want it, we never get it back. So I just thank each and every one of you for your time. I know my readings are long, but I try to give you as much as I possibly can. I don't have a Patreon channel to whereas somebody gives you a part one and they tell you to go pay for part two. We need to get it out right here, right now. Because what about the people who can't pay for the part two? And Relly, thank you so much, Relly, also for being here. And then Dawn showed up too. Thank you, Dawn, as well. But just thank everybody for your time. Once again, that's the most important thing for me is time. Even if you can't sit here for the whole reading, you know it'll be on my YouTube platform. But I thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the new followers. On TikTok, the followers have been slow, but they're building. On my YouTube platform, the followers have gone through the roof. And, you know, I'm like 23,000 and some change. And so I'm grateful for that. And everybody from TikTok who followed me on to YouTube, thank you. I don't get into the hoopla of what goes on with YouTube versus TikTok versus Instagram. I'm a one-woman army. I just do me. I don't care what anybody has going on their platforms. I don't watch other tarot readers. When I first got on, it was 3 that I liked. They weren't authentic tarot readers at all. One was hysterical. I used to laugh. There was one that she just needed a little more work, and she was almost there. She was like on the cusp of it. But, you know, sometimes when you have evil ways, you could be on the cusp and never get there. And then there was another one that I thought she was right there as well. But then I had to not look at any of these people because this is my world. This is the world that I grew up in. And I don't like when people play with people, if you get what I'm saying. So that bothered me. And then when one got a Patreon channel and then they're like, well, part 2, go here. And I'm like, well, bitch, you ain't saying nothing on part 1. So why you want them to go to part 2? Because what you said in part 1 is a lie. So that I didn't like that. I don't like when people get done like that. And then the one that made me laugh, she made me laugh in a comical way because we know where this began. We know why it began. We know what it's for. So this one, she just had a lot of funny stuff to say that wasn't true. So I'm like, oh my goodness. But I don't watch any readers. There are some readers that come up here and watch me, and they give gifts, and I am truly grateful, but I don't follow anyone back because I don't want to look at anyone's readings. I don't want any of that to seep into me. And I see that a lot of people come over here so that they can take bits and pieces and try to put it in theirs. And sometimes people are not even smart enough to change the verbiage or to change anything. They just straight up doing plagiarism. So you know that's ignorance. But anytime I do a reading, I'm always calling in my spiritual team. That's what I ring the bell for, because I'm calling for help. Even when I do one-to-one readings, I always call for help. I never do it alone. I would lie to you and tell you that these gifts are solely mine and they belong to me. No, they are a gift from my spiritual team, and I'm only a vessel that delivers the message. And every person that I've done the reading for says the same thing to me, how they had readings from other people. People have taken their money. People have played with them. And that shit is so wrong. It's so tacky. And I don't like anything like that. But to each his own. Everybody has karma to pay for. Right now, my karma is clean. My slate is clean. And the only way my plate could be filled up is just to harm someone that I love. And trust me, I don't love a lot of people. So anybody that I deeply love, if you harm, then I may have karma to pay when I go after that person. But other than that, you do people right. A lot of times people only want readings when, like me, who lost a loved one, relationships, what's going on in their life, jobs, career, whatever the case may be. Real personal, intimate moments. And it shouldn't be taken for granted or taken away from someone because they believe you. That's why they're paying you. And I dislike with a passion when a person plays with another person's feelings in their wallets or pocketbooks. Some people have and some people have not. And that's the truth. However, everything that I do, I never do it without my team. I never do it without my team at all. I recently did a reading for someone. I won't say her name, but I told you guys, I'm always late for everything. And she was running a little late. And my husband was like, how does it feel? I was like, it don't feel good. So I said, you know what? I'm going to dive into her reading without her so I could just get a feel. So I sent her a text. I was like, can I dive into your reading? I just want to look. She was like, sure. And I always meditate before I do a reading. And I was like, I like her. And I just kept getting this feeling. And I was like, damn, she reminded me so much of me. And I said to my husband, I was like, I like her. And my sister's up here. She'll tell you, I don't like nobody. I don't deal with a lot of people. That's just me. I'm a very private person. But I was like, I like her. And the more that I sat in her energy, I was like, I like her. I dig her. So next time I'm out in Texas, I'm going to look her up. I'm going to go hang out with her. I told her it got to be in the winter time because I can't do Texas in the summer at all. At all. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm. I don't care if I lose this 30 extra pounds. I will not go back to Texas in the summer. Not if I don't have to. But I am. I want to meet her in person, but I did enjoy her. And I can't say that about too many people. She was so genuine and authentic. And that was rare for me. That was rare for me. And no disrespect to anybody that I did a reading for. I'm speaking about energy. Hers was just so pure. Not to say that none of y'all's was pure. I'm just saying, yo, you are who you are. She's who she is. But I'm just saying I really connected like that. So that was different. I've never had that experience before because I don't mess with a lot of people. I don't at all. But let me get off this live. Let me get myself together. Listen, I was in this hot dress today. I'm ready to take it off. I'm ready to take it off and relax. But, oh, and remember I went on a detox from jelly beans? Well, I just bought some. Not the big bag. I bought this one. So I'm going to take off my clothes, sit back and chew on some jelly beans, pick out the ones that I like. I'm back on them. It's my drug. Some people on drugs for real. Some people on alcohol. I don't do none of that. I just do candy. And my sister too. She has addictions to sugar. She has addictions to sugar. And I thought I was bad. One time she had these strawberries. She was like, I'm making dessert. I'm like, all right. She put a pound of sugar on some strawberries. I was like, I'm not eating that shit. I did not eat that shit. And she gave it to the kids. And I was like, somebody should have called the cops on me for allowing my kids to eat that shit. And she put a pound of sugar. She was like, yo, this dessert. And I'm like, fuck that. Now, that's the one time I had to step back. I couldn't do it. I was like, that's some real live sugar right there. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I got to ask my daughter. My kids ate that. They was like, Mom, it's good. I'm like, yeah, you eating a fucking pound of sugar. I'm surprised they still got all their teeth. But her addictions are worse. But I'm over here sneaking my little do-to-do. See, not even a Pepsi. It's a do-to-do. But, and I just got back on sodas. It's been a few years now, right, babe? A few years. It's bad. Frappes, soda, and candy. They ain't through with me yet. They working on me. But good night. Good night.